Hey everybody, here with Maika Monroe. We're going to be talking about It Follows and probably a little bit about the guests. Now, you are, we're first of all, I want to kind of say we're probably getting into some spoiler stuff about It Follows, only because it's now playing. It's an awesome movie. You guys have to go see it. I just saw it this past weekend. I didn't catch it at any of the festivals. It's really creepy. It's great. To what do you kind of attribute this sort of this now kind of breakthrough success of what should have been a little movie? Now it's a little movie that did. It's the little train that could. You know?
that could.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been pretty insane what's happened the past couple of weeks. I mean, even going to all the festivals. The first place that we played at was Cannes, and I was super nervous because that's the first time that audiences are seeing the movie, and
the Cannes audiences are pretty.
Very rough.
Yeah,
Very rough.
they've been known to boo people.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So when we started getting good reviews from that, I was like, wow, okay, that's awesome that audiences are enjoying it and really liking it. And then, started, I think we went to Toronto and Sundance and festivals in between, and just people getting more and more excited about the film and amazing reviews. And so then we, opened in 4 theaters. And we broke some sort of records, and now we're, doing a wide release. And it's just, I don't know, it's been insane. I mean, I just think that people are drawn to it because there's something so different and unique about it, especially in the horror genre.
Yeah.
That's different from horror movies that are made today. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that was definitely one of the things, because I went into the movie really not knowing anything. In fact, I had seen the trailers, but I had seen them a while before.
Yeah.
And I deliberately didn't want to revisit things. I wanted to go in as kind of blank as possible into the movie. And that was the thing that struck me, was this sort of the almost like timeless quality in the movie. Like the Greg, right, who lives across the street from you, who's got like a station wagon like my dad had.
Exactly.
And you guys are always watching like old black and white movies. And there's like a was that deliberately, like, what was sort of the stuff that David Robert Mitchell, the director, kind of explained to you guys about that sort of weird time element? Because it's not like it's a period piece.
No, the idea came from David's nightmares as a child, this consistent dream that he had. So he wanted to bring that kind of dreamlike aspect into the movie. So when you're paying attention, you notice things from the 80s, you notice things that exist now and things that don't exist at all. And so he wanted to make that a bit confusing, where you're in this timeless era. You don't really know where you are, which I thought was really cool. And even with the wardrobe, it's just kind of an eclectic mix of things.
Yeah, and that synth music too. It's got that kind of like John Carpenter kind of vibe.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are talking about the music now, which is great, because I feel like between It Follows and like the Babadook last year, there really is this sort of resurgence of indie horror. Do you feel like the indie kind of low budget field is the best avenue for horror in some ways? Because
I think that there's something, I mean, like the Babadook, and also I heard great things about The Witch that went to Sundance. These smaller movies that are, I don't know, taking a unique take on this genre that you get so many of these big, massive movies that, are loud in your face, blood and guts, and it's just something refreshing about taking a more simple, view on the horror genre.
And there's not a lot of, there's a few moments of visual effects in It Follows for obvious reasons you have to do.
That you need,
but for the most part, everything is in camera, and everything is like, is she losing her mind, or is this really happening? There is something about the sort of the low tech quality of the movie. And also, I guess, just the fact that, these smaller movies, there's a fearlessness to it too.
Totally, definitely.
Now, when you were first approached about this, I'd have to imagine that you'd read something like this, and it's either going to be great or this could really go awry.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's definitely was a scary project to sign on to, because you don't know how it'll translate into a movie, and you don't know how audiences will take it. But for me, I had complete trust in David. Seeing his previous film, Myth of American Sleepover, that's just so incredible. It has nothing to do with horror, but just that he made such an incredible movie with no budget at all. I was just blown away, and so having, for a project like this, you have to have trust in your director. That's the only way that you can do it. If you don't have trust, don't do it. So, even just to having the conversation with David before I said yes to the project and hearing, how he wanted to make it and where the idea came from, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in.
Now, you also had, last year you had The Guest, which a lot of people have made kind of hay of the fact that it's like, wow, you've been in these two kind of like throwback awesome thrillers back to back. It's certainly, it's not planned.
It was definitely not planned. Would have been awesome if it was, but it definitely wasn't.
You must be aware of just then kind of like, this is your moment, right? This is kind of like your breakout kind of moment.
I mean, I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. I mean, it's just been very cool. The response from both these films, and It Follows has even become even more massive. And I'm just really also very excited for David as well, because I know that he's going, massive play. I mean, he's going to be one director that I think one day will be up there winning an Oscar, because I just think he's so incredibly talented, and have the opportunity to work with him. This is his movie, so I don't know. I'm just, you have to pinch yourself sometimes, and just, because it's so surreal, everything that's been happening.
Yeah. Now, It Follows is also very specific.
Yeah.
And you did mention earlier, a lot of horror movies are really just a lot of just visceral fakery now. I'm sure with the success of this movie, you're probably going to be offered a lot of horror movies. Do you find yourself going, well, let's pump the brakes on that. I don't want to get anybody trying to pigeonhole me because I hit horror movie.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, I love The Guest and I love It Follows. It's so cool to be part of those projects, but now, the projects coming up really have nothing to do with the horror genre. But I don't ever want to say, like, no, I won't do horror. If a good script comes along, an amazing character, then, I'm in. I don't think you could ever really say never, because I grew up loving the genre, and there's something so fun about it. So when there's unique takes on it and something that's different, I'll definitely be in.
Well, I know from past interviews that you're a huge fan of The Shining.
Oh my God.
What is it about that film that really has stayed with you?
I mean, Jack Nicholson's performance is just so incredible, and there's just the imagery in it, and I don't know what it is, but there's just something so special and so unique about it. And have you seen Room 237?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, you'll never look at The Shining in the same way again.
Never again. But it's so interesting. I think Kubrick is just beyond brilliant, and there's just something just so incredible about how he made that movie.
You must have been aware, though, too, at least maybe after you finally saw It Follows, that tonally, like, that's the thing both The Shining and It Follows has, is a very specific tone, even a very specific, almost like a hum constantly in the background, you know?
Definitely. Yeah.
If are you a fan of other Stephen King stuff, or was it specifically just that movie?
That was the one that really, stuck out to me. And then also, like, Nightmare on Elm Street was a huge, like, that movie scared the crap out of me as a kid. Like, that was, oh my God.
So
terrified.
We were speaking before the interview. You have a broader range of pop culture interests. There's a particular superhero you seem enamored of. You want to tell the folks who that is, because I think they'll love it.
Oh, Batman?
Yes,
yeah,
Batman.
I'm obsessed with Batman.
What is it about Batman you love?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, for whatever reason, since I was a kid, Batman has been my thing. Like, I have sweatpants with Batman, t-shirt, sweatshirt, socks, about everything with Batman on it. And I don't know why. It was just something that started as a kid that I just connected with for whatever reason. And also, I think that they've made some really great movies from Batman, and the villains in Batman are amazing. They're just, I don't know. I love it.
If there was one Batman character you could play, because they have now rebooted the universe, you know?
I mean, Catwoman would be like frigging insane. So guys out there, I'm in.
Awesome. Finally, I want to dial back a little bit and talk about The Guest.
Yeah.
That movie, like It Follows, they both have that kind of like synth kind of throwback score.
Yeah.
What was it about The Guest, do you think, that also, like It Follows, has kind of gotten this kind of mainstream appeal? Again, like a little movie that
Yeah.
in another time
Totally,
probably
yeah.
would have been a cult
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. Again, getting into It Follows and The Guest were very similar stories because I read the script, and it's hard with movies like that because you don't know where it's going to go. I mean, you read it and you can tell, okay, this is, you find the comedy and you think, okay, this is cool, but it wasn't until seeing Your Next, which is amazing, and knowing that Dan Stevens was involved, which is very interesting and odd. And, actually, with The Guest, which was different with It Follows, we got to hear the soundtrack before. We heard the music during the filming of it. Even the scene where I have my headphones in, and that song, I was listening to the song during it.
So you must have gotten really sick of the song.
Oh, I hated it by the time. No, I mean, the soundtrack's insanely amazing. Yeah. But that was really cool to get kind of the feel of it, and again with Adam, he has such a specific vision, and he knows exactly what he wants, down to the detail of the jewelry and the coloring and everything. So it was a very incredible experience working on that as well.
And a lot of filmmakers can't balance tone like that. I mean, he does basically thriller and comedy.
Yeah.
And
insanely good.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to ask, I can't believe I blanked on this earlier. Mm-hmm. It Follows, to me, it seems like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And again, this is where some of the spoilers come in.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the end that I really realized kind of the fairy tale aspect, because it seems like, in most fairy tales, to break the curse, it's like true love's kiss, or in this case, it's true love's boning.
Boning, yeah.
What do you think it is about, in horror movies in general, that makes sex equals death?
I have no idea. I don't know. I think it's something that is appealing to audiences and intriguing, and I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer for you on that one. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's because it's the one thing everyone wants, and if you put a hex on that, then you really do feel screwed. Not everyone is greedy and is like, oh, I'm going to go steal that thing I shouldn't. But everyone's like,
yeah.
So yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I agree.
Well, we figured out why It Follows is a success.
Yes, there we go, everyone.
Maika, thank you so much for coming in today, and congratulations on the success of It Follows.
Thank you.
And the appeal of the success and the appeal of The Guest. It's been out now for like over a year, and it's. Again, I keep having people hitting me up about this movie like it just came out. So congratulations on everything. Yeah. For more on It Follows, The Guest, Maika's upcoming films. Here, throw it out real quick. What are your upcoming movies that you're working on?
I have The Fifth Wave coming out, which is January 2016 is coming out, which is going to be really fun. A lot of action. And then I start working on a project called Tribes of Palos Verdes, which shoots soon. So very excited. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let us know in the comments below what you thought of It Follows. And for all things movies, keep it here on IGN.